All right. So I've been working on some helper functions with databases for Emir the past few weeks, and I kind of wanted to show off the database import and export uh, commands that I built because I think they show off a lot of the cool stuff that Emir can do to help you just manage your serverless infrastructure and your AWS infrastructure. So we're just going to do a quick demo. So I set up. So if we look at Emir database server list, um, you'll see that I created two databases. I have the standard one with ID1. Yes, I am the first. That's actually the main database that I use. So we're going to do an export from that one. Then we're going to import it to this private database that I just created. And I'm just going to show you how this works. So the first thing we're going to do is Emir database export. And this is going to walk you. You can put all sorts of options to skip this, but one thing that I like from a UX perspective is to just allow you to just select, like have a wizard. So here we're going to select the first database, and then you can see, well, it's truncated a bit, but here, let me move myself to the other side. All right, so this is better. So here you can see all the databases that are on that database server. So the cool thing with that is that this is just Emir running the command on the database server and returning the results to you. So I want to just say I want to export the WooCommerce staging one. So that's 24. So I'm just gonna type 24. Which user do you want to use? Emir. So here it's going to ask you for a password. I'm going to go here and copy that. So you shouldn't be able to see this because it's a hidden field. And now it's going to start exporting it. So that takes like roughly 30 seconds. It's not super fast, but it's about as fast as if you ran it on Table Plus or SQL Ace or your whatever database tool you like to use. And here we are, we're good to go. So just to show off, so the thing with the Emir private is it's a private database. So you can't actually connect to it without tunneling, creating a SSH tunnel first. So just to show it off, I'm gonna just connect to this new database. So the command for that is database server tunnel. And again, you don't have to know anything about SSH when you create your Bastion host, and it's gonna just insert. It doesn't actually. You don't even need that. Just as long as you connect once, it'll just ask you. So here we're saying we want to connect to the private database. So click one. So now the the tunnel is open. So we can go to Table Plus here. I have a predefined tunnel configuration that I set up. So if we go here and we connect, and then I just select. So this is a default. So like this is just a default WordPress table database that RDS creates when you create a new RDS server. So it's empty. And now we're going to do Control C. And if we go back here, you'll see that it lost connection. So just to show you a bit what it looks like when you use tunnel commands. So now what we're going to do is we're going to import that database that we just exported. So we're going to Emir database import. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select the file. So it was WooCommerce staging. So then we want to, because it's a private database, and this is something I kind of want to improve, we have to say what database we want to import it to. So we're going to do WordPress. And then we have to say also, you can't use the wizard as much with the private databases. So with the private databases, we still have to do, actually, I think it works. So let's try it. So I think this should be enough. So now we want to say we're going to import it to private. We're going to say emir. And the password, I don't mind showing that one because I'm going to delete the database after. So let's scroll back up. So here's the database password that got created when I created the private database. So we just put that back in. So here's the cool thing. So it's actually opening the SSH tunnel for us. So these are like the kind of like developer UX things that I'm thinking about that I can leverage with Emir because I know everything. Like because I'm managing your entire infrastructure, I can do things like, oh, we need to do a SSH tunnel for this database, so let's open it. It's not any different than if you did the database server tunnel, but it's just one thing less that you have to worry about. And as you can see, it imported the database. So now we have to reopen the tunnel. And if we go back here and we can do try again, and look at that, it's all here. So this is kind of like cool stuff that I'm thinking about when I'm building Emir, because I just want it to be a tool that helps you just manage your infrastructure. Again, the marketing is about, you know, you're not a sysadmin. This should like alleviate a lot of sysadmin things that you want to do, and make it easier for you to just have this kind of like really world-class infrastructure without necessarily having to know every little detail. Oh, what's a SSH tunnel? What's the command? You know, all those things. You can look it up if you want, but it's so much nicer if you have a tool that'll do that for you. So that's what I wanted to show you today.